Hello, today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the planar tracker in Davinci Resolve. This is specifically in 18.6. If you want to put text on walls or graffiti on walls, this is the method that you would typically do. So let's get right into it. Okay, so to get started, you obviously need some footage. For me, I just got some Overwatch footage that I was playing from earlier and trimmed it down to the pieces that I like, which are these two ones right here. I'm actually just going to choose the second one just for out of convenience. So once you got your clip selected, for me, I find it best to use an adjustment clip, but you don't necessarily need to. And put that over your video and trim it. So now that we're in the Fusion page, press Shift and Space to open up the select tool menu and type in Planar Tracker. Once you do that, if it's not already connected to the little pipeline area, you can do it by simply connecting these two. Or you can hold Shift while dragging until it highlights and release. Now, before we actually use the planar tracker, we need to change some settings. Because we're going to be turning a lot and showing our perspective quite a bit in this one, we want to change it to hybrid point area. And I put mine on perspective. You don't necessarily need to, but the lesser you go up, the more resources it's going to take going from the bottom up, essentially. So perspective is going to be the most harshest on your computer, while translation may not give you the exact same effect, depending on what you need, but it's going to be less stressful on your PC. So I'm going to use perspective. You're going to start by drawing these little lines around the shape of what you're trying to track. I will note to you guys that if you have any kind of traffic inside of the footage, let's say this crosshair was in front of this, or let's say some particles, it would have some difficulty actually tracking. So make sure that this is a clean slate and try to avoid clips that have a lot of traffic. You'll notice that in the reference time, it says 0.0. It's technically taking the information from the starting point, but our crosshair is around 72 or 73. So in order to set that, we hit the set button. You'll notice that it says 72. And then now we can begin tracking. You're going to start the track to start button. It's going to go backwards. In video games like this, they tend to have very little tracking data, especially if you have your graphic settings or quality settings on a low. But once it's tracked, which it seems to do a very good job of, you're going to go back to this by hitting the go button, doing the exact same thing to track to end button. For the best effect and to show most versatility, I recommend hitting this create planar transform button. What this does essentially is take the information from the tracking data and creates it into just one node by itself. We no longer need this planar tracking one data. Now that we can create this planar transform, we need to merge it in by grabbing this little gray box, merge it into the white box of the media in, it'll create a merge. In order to get the effect, we need to grab a text node and plug that into our planar transform. And in order to get the actual effect to look as if it's in the perspective, we need to grab something called the corner pin or the corner positioner. This corner positioner's job is to apply any kind of perspective based filter or effect onto a wall or kind of an angle that you want to like designate it to essentially. So for instance, if I just type in the word pulchritudinous, you'll notice that when I mess around with some of these corners, that it's going to change the perspective quite a bit. So our job now, to make it look more believable, is to kind of align it with this wall. And it's best to have the text there, just so you can kind of see your progress as you go. Something like that. Now, if you want to increase your size, simply drag the slider. Once you do that, let's say we wanted to add a drop shadow. Now we can go to the merge. To sell the effect, you'll see that in the apply mode, that there's multiple different types of filters that you can use. Screen would get rid of the shadows. Dissolve seems to do nothing with this specific scenario, and darken seems to get rid of the highlights specifically. But we want a little bit of that to show. So I'm going to use something called soft light. And you'll notice that it actually shows that. If we change the text to something more palatable, and we play the video back, you'll be able to see that it plays back smoothly, and it looks perfect. It looks as if it's actually there. Let's say you wanted it to fade in. There's two ways of doing that. You could simply drag these little sliders from each point, and you'll notice that it works. But let's say you don't want to do that, and you want to do it more manual so that we have more control over it as a whole. If you simply go over to the Fusion tab, go over to the Merge, Settings, and Blend right here. you want to start from the beginning, turn this all the way down, hit this little keyframe, go to 10, and bring it up. Same thing with this, go to the very end, and then around 10 frames before, both of those you're going to keyframe. Turn this one down, and you'll see now that when we play this, fades in and fades out. So if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And yeah, I typically don't do tutorials like this, but I thought it was something that was quick and convenient, and a lot of people have been asking me how I edit my videos, so who knows, I might make this a series. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe. I love you guys. Take care. Be safe. Peace.